Welcome to week two of our 2025-26 Judges Insight series. I am Kelly Walcott. I have the honor of serving as Director of Judges for the Skin Games. And I'm really excited this year about hosting these talks because these judges are very near and dear to my heart. We do have a relatively new panel. We have about 50% of our judges are returning, and we have 50% brand new judges to the Skin Games. And I think that's just indicative of how much we're growing. We've gotten some players that have decided to step on, retire as players and become a judge. And then I just love working with my returning judges. You all keep me straight and teach me a lot. Today, we're going to be chatting with our judges from the compromised skin category and holistic. We're going to learn about who they are, what they do, their specialties, things like that. The one thing that we won't be discussing are any scoring criteria. This is all just get to know them time to get to know them and their perspectives about the categories or the skin conditions that they are judging this year. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with you, Aggie. I'm going to go Aggie, Jessica, Reda. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And then if Jenna Lee is able to, yes, Jenna Lee is able to hop on, or if Jessica Johnson hops on, I'll add them into the talk. And then after we work through them, we will hop into our holistic category with Lynn. So far, generally, my holistic judges might join a little bit later. I know Skyly RSVP'd that she's coming, and so did Myung. We have a new holistic judge, Myung. We've had lots of fun judges. Okay, anyway, enough of me. I am going to unspotlight myself. Maybe if I can, figure out how to do that. And I'm going to start with you, Aggie. Tell us your name, which I kind of just did. But anyway, your name, your business name, where you're located, why you chose to become a beauty professional or why you chose to work in this industry, and what your primary specialty or focus is.
First of the line.
Yes. You set
So
the
I,
standard.
yeah, I was born on the first.
Hmm.
Probably that's why it is. But as you know, my name is Aggie and I'm from United Kingdom. I was born in Poland, and that's where I graduated from beauty college. My business name is Silesiana. It has roots, that's a very strange name, some might say, but it has roots to Poland. It means the girl from Lower Silesia, which is a mountain girl. Um, but yes, originally, if we're talking back in days, I meant to be an accountant, follow family's footsteps. And that's what I did. I graduated, I had my A levels done in economic studies because that's what my sisters also did. And I just have to follow that family tradition. But it was the most worst 4 years of my life. I still hate numbers. I can't do my taxes very well. I think Reda knows that because I always complain to her. So it was the most horrid 4 years of my studying, but I started it, so I had to complete it. And then once I graduated, I was walking through my town in Poland, and I came across this college with beauty and physiotherapy. So I decided to walk in. I spoke to the head teacher and I signed up and I never looked back. And it's been 20 years now and I absolutely love what I do. I'm very passionate about our industry. And I do all sorts, loads of different things, but I specialized in compromised skin. Um, I just feel like, we can bring so much difference to people's lives, quality of the lives. Sometimes it's not just about the skin, but the emotional connection between the skin and the client. So that's what I love doing the most, treating compromised skin.
I love that. And that is true. We do add a whole lot more than just a beauty treatment. We
Mm.
become a very intimate but peripheral part of our clients' lives. Jessica Cooley. Your name is Jessica Cooley, but if you'll share a little bit about your business name, where you're located, what brought you to the beauty industry, and what your specialty and focus are, what they are.
What they are. Hi, my name is Jessica Cooley, as Kelly said. And my business name is Skim One Pro. I'm founder and CEO. And I also side gig as the director of Bella Beauty School here in Columbia, South Carolina. And the funny part is I was actually in retail management for most of my adult life. And I had always enjoyed the beauty industry. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And one day, our kids, we have two, we have a 25-year-old and a 20-year-old. So they were self-sufficient at the time. I went to aesthetic school in my late 30s. I'm not in my 30s anymore, you know, anyway. And and I came right out of aesthetic school and opened up my own practice. And the funny part was, while I was in aesthetic school, a couple of things that made total sense to me was chemical peels, needling, and channeling. So that was what I specialized in with my practice. And I had that for 4 years, 3 years. So I did that for 3 years. And um, actually during COVID came across the skin games, and it just kept coming across my feed and coming. And I'm like, what in the world is this thing? So I checked it out, and I went ahead and I became a player and ultimately a finalist. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Um, and that's how my story came to be, where I'm now a judge. So I've been a finalist, I've been a winner, um, and I've been a judge. So I've kind of, and a sponsor. So I've kind of been a little bit of everything.
You
That's
have.
it.
You have.
Yeah.
You have been a very integral part of what we do, moving our industry forward. So it's been just really wonderful getting to know you and working with you. I know on a personal level, we have a group chat going, you, me, and another gal, and we are
Yeah.
constantly helping each other out, lifting each other up. That's one of the things that
Yes.
makes this very unique and very profound and
Mhm.
effective. Rita,
Definitely.
Reda,
Definitely.
we're gonna let Reda introduce herself. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce your last name. So tell us your name, your business name, where you're located, how you came into the beauty industry, and what your specialty or focus is.
Uh, my name is Reda Pilipaviciene. Yes, it's so difficult. My partner saying you need to change name because his name Knowles. Maybe next year will be a Knowles, not Pilipaviciene. Yeah, I'm Reda Pilipaviciene. I'm beauty therapist, uh, cosmetologist, and esthetician, and I'm running Redas Beauty and Aesthetics clinics in UK, London, Southwest London. I'm solo artist in my clinic at this moment. Yeah, but it's like very short term. Perhaps we're gonna have a team. Um, my journey to beauty is started about 28 years ago. My first profession was business and management. I got a degree in business and management, and at that moment, I had my daughter and stayed at home, and I decided I need something more womanish, some profession to add. And I think, okay, I know how to cook, I know how to sew, but yeah, it's beauty was that okay? It's interesting. It's looked for me, and I did start from beauty, and from that moment, because I entered some college, um, and in that college, I've been learning nails, waxings, makeup, which is started all my beauty journey. And halfway of that course, I've been pushed by my tutors to do work experience because some guys came from new salon and said, oh, we need two girls who will gonna work in our salon like part-time and we're gonna do work experience. And my coaches, they said, oh, them two, they can go. I was scared to death because I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm doing because I've been studying at the same time and working, which is became very handy in, in my life. And from that moment, and that's it, I'm working nonstop. I came to UK, and because there's different qualifications needed here, and I decided to go to here to finish all possible courses available, all studies available, because my aim was to open academy and biggest salon. And I'm a little bit control freak. Then I've been thinking, if I'll work, I need know everything what everyone doing. Then yeah, and it's non-stop. As you know, it's when you're getting in that stage, you just never stop learning. It's like, education and educational is the key. Couple years ago, just 3 years ago now, Aggie, my friend, she is introduced the skin games. I came to support her, and I think I did well because she won that one.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, and last year I was with some vendors and this is Hyper 21 because I'm ambassador of that company brand. Yeah, it looked very interesting. And this year I decided to challenge myself and to share my knowledge as well to support players because I think I have a lot to share and a lot of to support and give some advices and to be fair to everyone. And hopefully in future, even with judges and with after ex-players in the skin games, will be able to share our experiences because it's like everyone has a lot of to bring, a lot of to share, and I think this network these days is everything.
Yes, I agree with you. Networking is the most important thing. And yes, we've enjoyed getting to know you. We love that you are stepping out of your comfort zone and you're just like the rest of us, learning everything you absolutely positively can as much as possible in order to make yourself the best professional you can possibly be. So we'll move on now to Jessica Johnson. How are you doing, my friend?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Share your business name, where you're located, what brought you to the beauty industry, and what your specialty and focus are.
So, yeah, I in Omaha, Nebraska. I am the owner and founder of Living Beautifully Spa and Academy. I've been an esthetician for 15 years and a permanent makeup artist for 10 years and a master educator for 10 years. Um, so I stumbled upon aesthetics when I was getting out of a very, very abusive marriage. I have three sons, and I walked away with absolutely nothing, starting from scratch. Within the next week, I was in aesthetic school, and that was 16 years ago, actually. And I absolutely found my passion and my calling, and exactly where I'm supposed to be. So, when I first started aesthetics, I focused on microneedling. So that was a long time ago, and I absolutely still love it. I do that a lot. But I also do a lot of teaching. So I teach a lot of different classes to estheticians who are wanting to add a new skill in or get continuing education hours. So I do pretty much everything because, like I said, this is my passion. My calling has always been to help other women, especially starting in this industry. When I started, I had absolutely nothing, and I built my little mini empire, just on my dream and my passion. And so this is where I am. I just I'm just starting my second week of radiation,
Mm-hmm.
and for those who are following me, it's going really good. I'm getting through it, um, proving to myself how strong I am right now. I had my breast cancer surgery in September, and so it's been quite a bit of a journey. So I also moved the same week. But anyway, I really love being a judge as well. This is going to be my third year as a Skin Games judge. And I learned so much from the players, and I feel like I really have a lot to offer and show, how you can really push through all your challenges and get to the other side and be better than ever.
And you will be. You will be. I remember, I think I've shared this before, but I remember meeting Jessica. She walked into, I think it was, I don't know, the presidential suite and said, "How can I help?" And Jennifer said, "You can be a judge." And it's been just amazing to have you on board. And you say this like it's just no big deal. You moved not just your home, but you moved your business and you had breast cancer surgery all in the same week. So
In the same week.
it's no slacking there, my friend.
Well,
And you
thank
continue to show up, and we have you, we're lifting you up in our thoughts, our prayers, our positive vibes, everything.
that
And
means so
you
much.
are you are an integral part of our community, and we love you.
So thank you
We
so
love
much.
everybody, that
Yeah.
we love all of our judges, but right now we're sending you all of our love.
Well, thank
Miss
you so much.
Jenna Lee, our our 2025 reigning esthetician of the year. She is come back, and I got her as a judge, and I'm so excited. So share your name, your business, where you're located. We both used to live in the same city. Fun fact. Never met each other until after I moved away, which makes my heart hurt in more ways than you can count. What brought you to the beauty industry and what your focus is?
Mhm. Well, hello, you guys. I love seeing all these familiar faces. And really quick, Rita, I think that you're a good luck charm. Let's just put it that way. You showed up for Aggie year one. You were my facial model in the the face massage competition. And we both are reigning estheticians of the year. So um, hello, I'm Jenna Lee Dalen. I live in Santa Cruz, California. And I own Yoso Wellness Spa. I am a full service wellness spa. We do facials, massage, acupuncture, organic eco-friendly nails, lymphatic machine, infrared sauna, ionic foot detox, all kinds of different stuff, really encompassing the body as a whole. And I have a whole team that works for me, about usually around 13 people. And yeah, I think, I'll tell you my focus is compromised skin, holistic skin. I'm going to be a judge for the compromised skin, but really holistic and compromised has been my passion and my focus in my 15 years in the industry. And when I say compromised, at least in that as a judge, it's really on that someone going through their cancer journey. I've had special training in that, autoimmune disease. And even holistically, I look at all of my clients, whether they're going through an autoimmune disease or their cancer journey, or they're just living can be hard sometimes, right? And our nervous system is affected. And so with that of like, what's my specialty, but really why I got into it even more is I wanted to make an impact to support people in a bigger way and change as a healer. And so I don't look at the skin just as I've got this tissue right here on my face. It is so much more and so much deeper. And when I say deeper, I don't just mean 5 layers of the skin. I mean, like it is all encompassing within our body. And so that's how I approach skincare when I'm working with my community and why I provide all that I do. But I know that my hands aren't just enough. And so I really try to take in the approach of what's happening for your nervous system even, and how can I support that? What's your diet like? I mean, all kinds of different factors. And so when I'm working with clients, that's really where my passion lies, is I want to create a bigger change just beyond what you see on the surface, because if we can help support all those other parts, you're just vibrating even bigger and beyond what you thought was possible. So what got me into the industry, and then even into that direction, but what got me into the industry actually was I was a competitive swimmer for 18 years and I didn't wear any sunblock ever. I didn't really know that I needed to, probably, and I loved the sun. I was always in the sun. And as I got older, I had a lot of sun damage, pigmentation. My skin was super dry and dehydrated from 18 years of chlorine, doing 4 hours a day of swimming. I was going Olympic level, so I was in the water a lot. And when you would see my skin, like especially right around the under eye area, I remember being like 21, 22. And someone was like, "What's wrong with your eyes?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "It's all like wrinkly or something." And I remember looking in the mirror being like, "What is happening to my face? Why does it look like this?" And I'm so young and I had no idea that I should be doing this whole beautiful ritual routine for my skin. And I was working in corporate, and my sister-in-law, I'm not married anymore, but my sister-in-law at the time had said, and I was super stressed out, working 60 hours a week, commuting to San Francisco from Santa Cruz, which is 2 hours each way. And my sister-in-law was like, you know what might be really nice for you is getting a facial, because your skin feels great. They do some like massage on you. It's just really nice. And that might be really good. And I think she was looking at my face also and was like, you need some help. So I started getting facials and I immediately felt like this is speaking to me. There's something more here. And I felt stress relief, but not only did my skin start to look better, I started to feel better inside too. And I decided when I'm burning out of my corporate career, I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to become an esthetician. And so I left my corporate job and I went back to school, and I will never forget the very first time I laid my hands on a client at school. I looked up and I was like, not just the second I touched them, but like I was doing the facial massage and I looked at my instructor and I said, "Oh my God, this is way better than getting a facial." And she was like, "That's not normal. And I think you found your calling." And so ever since then, for me, it's truly been a soulmate in a career. It is my passion, making that impact for people's skin on that whole level. And where I got into more of the holistic and compromise skin side was had babies and I wanted to make sure I wasn't putting toxic things on them. We were eating clean, and I realized, well, wait a second. I want to apply that to what I'm doing for people's life too, like beyond, like for how I'm helping with clients. And so I really went the cleaner, like everything is a chemical, right? But I went the cleaner approach. And then my mom had gotten breast cancer. I had skin cancer. I've had lots of friends with cancer, and I decided I'm going to get oncology certified. I want to be able to help people. And then I myself have had autoimmune diseases, and I went, wow, there's so many things that happen with our bodies from that. And so I started just diving deeper. And that's kind of how I ended up in the more specific targeted path that I am. But really, I'm just a healer that wants to love everyone in their face and like ripple out joy. So if you have a face, I will make you just so happy. That's really how I feel.
I love
And
that.
we're getting into the skin games. I was a competitor for 3 years and I have competed 19 categories. I've placed in the top three in 15 of them. I think that's accurate. And last year I was so excited to be the Esthetician of the Year, which was amazing. And I wanted to come back as a judge because I think what I see the value in the skin games is that it's not a popularity contest. It's not, I mean, there's so much more beyond it, but it's truly about you getting to expand yourself. You get to learn so much more. You're getting to take your creative spin on who you are as an esthetician beyond what you learned in school, beyond what you're maybe told if you work within a space, or even if you work for yourself. You kind of get into this like kind of like did like routine where it's just over and over. And I realized something like the skin games, it gives you an opportunity to step out of your box, to challenge yourself, to say, what am I capable of? And I know that I have so much within me that I can make an impact for my clients. And what can my clients achieve? And what are my clients capable of? And so I think that's something beautiful about the skin games is that it challenges us to show up for ourselves, to be the experts in the industry, to push ourselves beyond to another level that makes us say, like, I'm in this for like the right reasons, not just because I want to walk, like get some tips and slather products on someone's face. And so I wanted to become a judge because I believe in techniques. I believe in ingredients. I believe in really making an impact for our clients, that it's not just us. This is a we game. It's not I don't do the work and she didn't do the work. It's we do the work together. And so I wanted to become a judge to really help, teach others, learn, see what they're doing, help give feedback, guidance, and just keep supporting and elevating the industry.
I
That's
love
it. I'll
that.
get off
I
my
love that. All right, Aggie, what, let me start all over. How does your background inform your approach for treating a compromised skin?
So first, I want to say, Jadali, whatever you said was so beautiful and
It
on
was,
point.
it was.
Thank
Especially when
you.
it comes to treating clients. Sorry, I will get to the question in a minute. When it comes to holistic treatments and not just treating the skin as we see on the outside, but it's so, so important. There's that new word, buzzword, kind of biohacking skin. And I think we as estheticians, we've been doing it for a very, very long time, looking at clients in a very holistic way. So absolutely, I love you all. Um, could you repeat that question, Kelly? Was that how?
How does your background inform your approach when treating compromised skin?
Okay, so my beauty background. So when I graduated from college, I was doing pretty much everything. So I was doing the nails and the waxing and also the skin. And over the years, especially during COVID time, we had so much time on our hands, and I was like, actually, let me have a look at my treatment menu and concentrate on the things that I love the most. So pretty much everything went, and only skin left. But
Mhm.
I have the knowledge on different fields of beauty, the aesthetic side of it, and also the beauty. But I think where I'm located up north in the UK, it's the area where we see a lot of compromised skin, maybe due to the weather conditions. I'm not sure, but this is what made me specialize in that particular field, and I decided to dive a little bit deeper and just educate myself on what is actually the connection between the skin and the skin being compromised and how it connects with overall system, the nervous system. So that's, I hope that answered the question. Did I get that right?
It's perfect, and I think that you're correct. We do realize that it beauty is more than skin deep. I know that that's a it's a common phrase that is used a lot in our industry, inside our industry, outside of our industry. But we all know, if you've been in a treatment room for any period of time, that the skin reflects what's going on internally. It's an
Precisely.
external
Mhm.
reflection of
Mhm.
what is going on internally in the body. So while we are not medical professionals, we absolutely need to know a whole lot about what goes on inside the body, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all of the things, because it greatly determines how well your body is going to come or respond to a treatment. It's not just about putting a product on the skin and getting this beautiful result. And managing client expectations, we become almost therapists. We become their parents. We become their best friends. We become almost everything to our clients. Ms. Jessica Cooley, gotcha, busted. This is a new category for you this year. Traditionally, you have been a new esthetician judge. And so how does your background inform your approach? Because you are a professional product owner, you are a full-time instructor, and do you still see clients?
No.
Okay.
No.
So,
no. And I actually retired from instructing, and now I direct this. I run the school.
Okay.
No, I still instruct though. I still fill in and all that, which is tons of fun. But how I feel with my approach to compromise, or to really any category, is I'm a why person. Like, why? Why is your skin doing that? Okay, well, you say this, and this. Okay, well, then why is that not working? Okay, well, what about this? So I see skin and the whole process of working with people to, help them with their skin, as a game of Tetris. You need to get all the little blocks to fit just right, just, to make sure that everything lines up. And the coolest part about it is I know, and I know all of y'all know too, that no two of us are going to look at the same case study and go about the same route. Are we all going to get to the same destination? Sure. But we all see and look at something differently. And I think that's the coolest thing about it, right? And, it's just always been just fascinating, and I can geek out about it forever. And I think when I actually played in the compromised category, I worked on a gentleman who had lupus. He had been in remission for about 23 years, but he still had really, really, really bad scarring that had him, it just really self-conscious about himself. And he was just the coolest dude ever. And I was like, you know what, we're going to figure this out. But at the same time, I knew I didn't want to be the reason the beast came out of the closet, if you know what I mean. So I had to kind of look at it in a different way and, not be gentle, but be, what's the word I'm looking for? Be more strategic. And I mean, I think the results were amazing. And it just really all boiled down, to just a whole lot of whys, and that's just the coolest part. And, being a judge too, I take it in because I learn something every year. So this is my fourth year judging? Yeah, my fourth year judging. And I have learned so many new things. These case studies come in, and the way I do it is I look at the pictures first, the before and afters, and then do all the reading. And I'm like, I never thought of that. Oh, that's cool. And especially with new SD, because the students that are coming out of schools now are already informed by the time they get to us.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Because of the interweb.
Not necessarily with the right knowledge, but yes, they are very well educated.
Right. Yeah. And, so that's kind of, it's both a battle and it's also like okay, cool. You're already familiar with that. Um, and yeah, I just think the fact that I'm a why person, like why, and it's not that I'm questioning people like in a bad way. I'm trying to figure it out in my noodle. Like, okay, you said this, so that means I can't use this, and this. All right, but you've got this going on. So I might be able to slide this and, uh, on the side, we could use this, even though label wise, it's not saying I can use it for that, but hey, let's go ahead and try. Right.
Yeah. The science makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. And I know I ramble. I am so sorry.
Don't apologize for being you. I think we're detectives. You have to really listen to what your client says is telling you. Intake is important. Consultation is important. And we really have to flex those muscles of listening, retaining, getting curious, and asking those questions. Why? And I think ultimately you become a better professional, and your clients appreciate the dedication and the devotion to your craft. I think one of the things that we're able to do as players, judges, participants, sponsors, everything is we get to showcase and highlight what we do in our treatment rooms. And that to me is elevating our profession and making us really strong players in the cosmetic world, in the industry. I think one of the last studies one of the global studies that I read was that the fastest growing segment of the beauty industry are facial services, not fillers, not Botox, but facial services. So it's important that we know what we're doing. So,
I mean, too, what helps is going into every client and everything, I guess, ignorant, because the last acne client you just had, this can be completely different acne, or,
Yeah, I will say that is one thing that I always tell my estheticians when they're here, when they start with me and we're training, is you will never have two like clients, because the cause of someone's acne is not the cause of that person's acne. The cause of that person's aging and lines on their face is not the reason that that person has it. And so what you treat it with can't always be the exact same approach. It's like a mix and match game of Jenga and Tetris. So you have to do with your clients of how you're going to treat them product wise at home and in the treatment room, because really no two people are the same. The causes are all different.
Yep. David said last week, one size fits one. So Miss Reda, how does your background inform your approach when treating a compromised skin?
I think for me is my professional approach is to work at the intersection of aesthetics and holistics and longevity science. And this means to look at skin conditions is I assess basically what it is. Every client, like you're saying, is coming, and it's like, first of all, you need to have proper consultation, diagnosis, and after you can choose a plan how to treat that client. And you need to look, of course, like, skin microbiome, inflammation, glycation, is all that things, hormonal influence, is you taking into consideration every single bit, even nutrition, sleep, how much they moving, how much they doing exercise, and combining that all, how to say, traditional holistic wisdom and modern technologies and your knowledge all the time, because I'm all the time learning. My mom, she said, it's like, she never stops till perhaps retirement, she will be learning,
Mhm.
studying. And this all that putting all of that my knowledge, and I'm able to create that personalized individual. Like you mentioned, somebody mentioned, it's like every client is individual.
Mhm.
And this in my clinic, you never will find like treatment. All treatment is bespoke, all individual assigned. And because compromised skin is condition is now is called like modern epidemic, because it's, in recent years we are seeing significant rise in compromised skin conditions, and even in younger
Mhm.
clients coming with like impaired skin barrier function and chronic dehydration and TEWL is like transepidermal water loss, inflammation, acne, even in adults in the late like 30s, 40s, 50s, because his environment giving a lot of that things. Is rosacea, is sensitive skin. Is my first, I think, like Aggie said, it's like my first thing when I start thinking about compromised skin. It was during after basically when I start working after COVID, because quite a lot of my clients is doctors and nurses, and wearing that mask, as they had a lot of
Mhm.
issues with skin. And I started going a little bit deeper, and after a lot deeper, how to what is cost, how we can treat, how we can support. And it became very interesting, because at that days it's like a lot of skin conditions came after COVID, and it was interesting to basically to look at primary causes, and this uh, a lot of things is in skin happening these days. Is how to say is these days is people looking after skin. It's not a
Mhm.
problem about not to look after skin. Is basically is over treatments, overlooking,
Mhm.
overusing, over powerful ingredients, over powerful, or is that products can be very good, but is overused or not used in the right time, which is I think is as estheticians, skin professionals, we need to educate our clients and to use in right time. And sometimes it's less is more if you talking about compromised skin conditions. uh,
Agreed.
yeah, it's not only like everyone talking today, it's not only about skin itself, a top layer. We need to look deeper, which is I think is most compromised skin conditions coming from gut health, uh, all ultra processed foods, pollution in the air, environment pollution. Even now we have another thing, which is a lot of biofields is like, going a lot of energy, a lot of information is like electrical pollution. Uh, it's also, um, it's not now about only our bodies, it's a lot of about environment as well. And then, yeah, it's interesting subject, never ending learning. And this, I like challenges. I like work with compromised skins. And this, when it brings good results, I'm winner. And not only but just I think it's about our profession. It's like our field is the most awarding thing when your client smiles and you treat the skin after you making long-term plan. Is I think these days for me it's not like quick fix. is about like is long-term skin health.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's no, it's if my client coming and say, oh, it's like, I want to do that and that in one treatment, I can say, sorry, I don't need your money. I can't help you. So,
Mhm.
just because
Yep.
it's like for me is if I'm working hard, uh, if I'm making working hard, I want that skin to bring to a healthy, glowing skin. It's not about like it's one treatment, not quick fix, not mirror skin glowing. It's like about nice, beautiful skin, which is it takes long time, and I think it's all life we're working on it.
I agree. I think that's the part where we have to manage expectations with our clients,
Yeah.
being upfront with them, letting them know that their skin didn't get into this condition overnight and it cannot be fixed that way
Yeah.
overnight. So, Jessica Johnson, especially with how you're technically now a compromised skin yourself. So, how is your background informing your approach when with compromised skin?
Yeah.
And side question, are you currently working in your treatment room or are you?
I am working just on a few clients here and there,
Mhm.
especially the ones that have been with me for like 15 years but I do not have my books open as of right now. I am doing some teaching a little bit, but I do have one employee that's kind of taken care of my clients.
Good.
She's been
Good.
with me for about 8 years and that's helped tremendously. So that's one thing that I did learn through this whole process is if you don't take care of your body, which I did, but you really, when it's going through something like this, where your body's going to go through a lot of changes, you really do have to figure out a way to take care of it, to take some time to heal. So when I first graduated from aesthetic school, I worked for a holistic doctor for about 5 years. And she taught me a lot about how to look at a client and see what the underlying issues are that's causing the compromised skin. Um, so learning, how to eat healthy, how to take care of yourself, all of that stuff, nutrition, supplements, things like that, all affect the skin. Obviously, the skin's the largest organ on our body, which is very intriguing to me when I first graduated from aesthetic school. But but now that I am, have unfortunately got diagnosed with, cancer, I can now actually experience what a cancer client is experiencing. Because it's also an emotional thing, very, very emotional because it just something that just pops up and it's not something that you did anything wrong. It's just shows up and it's, especially breast cancer, it's 1 in 8 women, which I really didn't do a lot of research on breast cancer before. I didn't have any history or anything like that. But now being able to look on the other side, and seeing, I mean, since January 1st, I do a 21-day cleanse and detox and fast. So I cleanse from alcohol, sugar, caffeine, meat, dairy, gluten, processed food, fried food, all of that stuff that we love. And I've been doing that every year for 10 years, because it does make a huge difference what you put inside of you and how your skin is going to look and feel. Um, so it does take a lot of experience. I mean, education, experience, listening to the client as far as what what's going on with them and in their world and what could be changing. I mean, obviously with cancer, it just like I said, pops up, so you don't really know if you did anything wrong. But compromised skin is very, I mean, it does weigh on your confidence. because, something that maybe I took for granted a little bit, thinking that, okay, well, I've always had great skin the last 16 years because I've always taken care of my skin and myself um and I really didn't I guess I can empathize more now with clients and with estheticians who are treating compromised skin because it is a whole nother ball game. And you have to know when to modify, when to not overtreat. And so that is something that is just like a balancing act. You want to make sure you don't go one way or the other. But yeah, it is definitely something now I can, put my pain and have a purpose on that and what am I going to do going forward as far as my next part of my journey as far as an esthetician. And I always know that everything happens for a reason and
Mhm.
things are definitely going to be changing on the other side when I get through this.
Well, we are absolutely honored to have your expertise and your time with us.
Thank
So
you.
thank you. I love that. So we're going to switch gears just a little bit, Miss Jenna Lee. What industry trends are you paying attention to?
This is kind of hard because I feel like it is constantly changing. It's like the minute that you get on track with one thing is the minute that the next thing is coming and you're like, wait, what? I just was figuring that out. Um, but I will say what I am paying attention to, which has kind of been around now for a bit, but well, so some of you might go, well, I've been doing that forever. And others might be like, I didn't know I could do that. So each state and country is different with what you are allowed to do and your scope of practice. And so I will say that sometimes I'll notice things, trends that are happening in the industry, and some of them I go, that's cool. I can't even do it. And so for me to invest like a ton of time, sometimes if it's not something we can even do in California, because even if a client goes, oh, tell me about this thing, and I'm like, you're not going to find anyone in California that's going to be able to do that for you unless you go to a dermatologist, right? So, but I will say that something that a few little things that I've been loving that I've been paying attention to over the last year or two is well, maybe more so in the way of adding within a treatment is things like the dermaplaning and microchanneling. Um, because it's been around for a long time and there's information, but it's been one of those things where there was a lot of it's like myth versus fact, or there's misconceptions, like how is like really is this good for you? Is this going to strip your skin? Are we tearing the skin? What trauma are we causing? And I really feel like lately there's been so much more knowledge and education around
Mhm.
dermaplaning, microchanneling, how to do it safely, what not to do, what to do, what to watch out for, who to avoid. Not like who, it's not like don't go to her, not that in that way, but more in just the approach, right?
Mhm.
And so I've really actually been loving learning even myself as I've started to incorporate stuff in and how to do things that, okay, my background is very much about I don't want to cause inflammation to the skin and I want to remove inflammation from the skin and help heal the skin for the longevity. I love that Aggie used it earlier, biohacking. I've been doing biohacking for 15 years and now it's a trend word and I'm like, sweet. Like, but I've been working on longevity. So with some of these treatments, there are a lot of inflammatory responses. And so I love that now we're starting to see more approaches and education and ways of how can we do some of these things without causing trauma to the skin. Don't just put straight alcohol on someone's face to prep it before you do a dermaplane. Put oils in, put like, or even the microchanneling, like what are different ways from the, stamping, dragging, all that stuff. So I've really been excited diving into that. Um, I will at least say a big industry trend right now. Again, I've actually been doing this for 14 years is lymphatic drainage. So if people are watching this and you're like, I can't believe you didn't mention lymphatic drainage. Well, it's LED and lymphatic drainage have been around since before I was even practicing,
And
but they're all cycles. Everything is a cycle. So when you ask industry trends, I'm like, well, in 10 years, I'm going to say this again, right? And so LED, lymphatic, those are big ones that are being talked about now. And I'm so excited because I have loved applying those. But now there is so much more education, even from me, that I'm getting to dive in and learn new stuff that I didn't even necessarily fully have my head wrapped around before, because the way our industry is and marketing, well, or education, marketing, kind of like channels to get the information out, is so much more vast now. And so I will say that was a very all over answer, but in that sense, I would say that kind of stuff is what I've been like getting all excited about again in different ways. And I love seeing that finally other estheticians are getting the exposure to it and seeing the benefit of what they can do
Right.
to impact and change. And so if any of you that watch this are thinking, yeah, but that other girl is now doing it and I just started doing it and I want to, like, I was trying to promote it. No, like, this is amazing. We're all helping our community where we live of these clients. And remember, maybe lymphatic drainage or microchanneling at that one esthetician wasn't right. So they might come to you and vice versa. Like, it's all going to work around. Just keep growing your knowledge with all these new techniques, modalities that are coming. And it just keeps, yeah, be excited for your clients, not about what you are doing versus the other esthetician.
I always say just kind of keep your nose in your lane and do the best that you can for the people that are on your table and in your treatment room, in your circle of influence. And you're the other esthetician across the way, she's your colleague, not your competition. So I think it's important because she may speak to someone else on a level that you don't. And all we want is for everybody to have healthy, beautiful skin. So Aggie, what are some industry trends you're paying attention to?
Well, whatever Janely said, plus.
We
I
get that a
believe
lot
that's
when we
the
host
thing
these
you mentioned.
discussions, but what
Yeah.
she said and then what she said, yes.
And plus that, and we get a nice pot of yeah, treatments. But what I like to put a lot of maybe time with my clients is the consultation. I believe, every treatment should start with a consultation. Every new client, spend some time with them, and even, 6 months down the line, some things might change, and just, bring them back into a consultation room and double check if you're still on the same page with them. Um, Again, most of the time, what I see in my practice are those clients that are coming with different skin conditions. I absolutely do love relaxing facials when big part of it is the lymphatic drainage as well. Um, but there's a lot of skin conditions when there is that, as I mentioned earlier, that emotional connection there, and just, educating our clients. This is what I pay the most attention to, educating them. And sometimes they might go through that light bulb moment, say, "Aha, this is not, me. This is my skin. Life is lifing, skin is skinning." And just, educate so they take responsibility for the skin as well, and responsibility for what they do with their skin and how they follow the protocol and what's in their toolkit, really. So I just took a little bit different approach to your question, Kelly.
I like that. I like that. So we're gonna have to wrap it up with you beautiful compromised judges. Last thing, one sentence. What success advice do you have for other beauty professionals? Jessica Cooley. One sentence.
One sentence.
One sentence.
Okay. So it's a
Success
compound
advice.
sentence. Does that work?
Yep.
Okay. So it goes back to what you were saying, Kelly. No one is competition. They're only a learning moment.
Love that. Reda, one sentence. Success advice.
Be passionate what you do. Stay in your lane. And as I said, is skin conditions, any skin condition is not quick fix. It's long-term skin health, confidence, and longevity.
Love that. Jessica Johnson.
So I think that continuing to educate yourself and learn more and more each year, and just never give up and just push through the hard times because it's all worth it.
It is. It is. Jenna Lee.
I would say release the constraint you put on yourself with imposter syndrome because you are doing wonderful. And when you start to question that, sounds silly, but this is what I do. I put a hand on my heart and one on my chest, and I say things like, I am safe, I am capable, or I know what I'm doing, or whatever it is that you have to say for yourself to remind you that you have the power and the knowledge in what you do. And so continue to let yourself learn because whether you've been in it for 2 months or 20 years, you have to keep letting yourself learn. And that's how you just keep growing. And yeah, let go of imposter syndrome, just breathe, recenter yourself, and you're going to be great.
Beautiful. Ms. Aggie.
I would say plan ahead and remember you don't have to know everything to be part of this game. And game on and love you all.
Love you all too. Okay, now if you all, before you hop off, we'd love for you to stay, but I know Reda and Aggie, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning there. Please type in your socials in the chat so the people on here can follow you. Conversely, if you go to the Skin Games website on our judges page, you can connect with our judges there on their so their socials are listed there. Thank you all so very much for your time. I'm going to remove your spotlights and I'm going to bring forward our holistic judges. Thank you all so much for your time, your expertise, and your willingness to make the games what they are. So I have for our holistic, I have Miss Lynn, if you will. Are you on camera, my dearest? I'm going to add you. Myong is new. She is, I have to put her in the spotlight. I have to figure out how to, oh, Myong, I need you to turn your camera on so I can pull you forward. And then I have Miss Skylee. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you? There you are. And Samantha, right? Samantha, you are one of our holistic judges as well. Let me pull you forward. While I'm doing that, Lynn, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from, what brought you to the industry, and what your area of focus is.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Lynn Laporte, and I'm from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. It's about an hour south of Boston. Born and raised and stayed. My personal business is called Must Have Beauty, and I specialize in integrative and holistic aesthetics. I originally came to the industry from a friend who she used to sell skincare and all kinds of things. And she turned me on to some products because I had struggled for years with sensitive, reactive skin. Like everything would break me out, so I would use nothing. I get headaches from fragrance. It took me a long time to put all these pieces together. And so she was with a company that they talked about like reducing your chemical load and not using fragrance or perfume and things that are known irritants to the skin or can be known irritants to the skin. So I tried some products and I loved them. And I saw the community of women like we have here, like a community of women that supported each other. And I was newly sober. So I really felt lost. And I wanted what they had. They were happy, their skin looked great. And so that like lured me into helping people with their skin. I was like, wow, if they can do this, why can't I do this? And then fast forward, I've been in customer service, office management, from the public sector, private sector for years. That was my thing. I love answering the phone. I love helping people with their problems. And so I I brought my love of that into aesthetics, and I just wanted to help people. I wanted to find out how to help myself and then help others too.
Love that. Miss Skyly, tell us your name, where you're located, business name, and what brought you to the industry and your primary focus and specialty.
I am in Tucson, Arizona, the desert. I own two spas technically. I own a collective with 11 room renters. We also have a class space where we host professionals like Miss Holly Brown, and we also do yoga, breath work, things like that. And then I have my own nonprofit spa that specializes in treating cancer patients. So I do treat the general public, and then 20% of every service goes into a fund to provide complementary products and services for cancer patients. I've been doing that. I've been an esthetician for almost 17 years, as well as an educator for about 16, and I've had my spa for about 12 years. The collective is a new venture this last year. I also am the director of education for 80 beauty schools in the country. So I do that as well. I got into this industry. Honestly, I can't remember a time where I wasn't obsessed with all things beauty. I always tell the story of when I was a kid, I used to dig holes in the backyard and make mud baths for my sister and my mom would like lose her mind at us. And I used to do everyone's hair. And then I worked in a beauty school before I ever went to school and just loved everything. I don't know, other than being a pop star. I can't actually sing, but I don't know what else I would do with my life. So, yeah, that's that's it in a nutshell.
I love that. I love that. Samantha, you're rather new. It's nice to meet you, see you face to face. Tell us a little bit about your name, your business, where you're located, and what brought you to the beauty industry.
My name is Samantha Tisnoy, and I am now Rafa Wellness and Health. But when I competed in the Skin Games in 2019, I was Elite Skin and Lash. So, what brought me into the industry was I've always had a passion for helping people. Before I became an esthetician, I was a dental assistant, and I loved that aspect of helping people, but it was very constricted and constraining. And I wanted to be able to branch out and own my own practice as well, because I was, had young children. And I'd always had a passion for skin. And so I decided to become an esthetician. And after I did the skin games, actually in 2019, um, at that point, I was I was going back to school actually. And the goal was I was going to be a nurse practitioner
Ah,
and then and use that in the aesthetics field. And my life completely did a 360 right before the skin games, or before I enrolled in the skin games. My mother was diagnosed with cancer, and she died within 6 weeks of diagnosis to her death. And prior to that, my father had passed away, lifestyle as well. He smoked cigarettes and, had a lot of complications from that. And when I did the skin games, it was actually the beginning of my own illness that I was not aware of. And the skin games at that point, I'm very grateful for it because it gave me something aside from my family, which I had them, but I had something else to focus on and really pour myself into, keep my mind off of what was actually happening in my life and put that energy into other people. And I competed in both the age management and the pigmentation and age management categories. And what I was able to achieve was just mind blowing to me. And being able to take myself out of that little box that the industry, puts us in, all the regulations, and we have strict guidelines we have to follow. Being able to step outside of that box and trust myself and the knowledge that I had and be able to be free was it was just amazing for me. It was such a great feeling to be able to see what I could accomplish, to push myself to those limits. And so, for those reasons, I have a special place in my heart for the Skin Games. But that's also why I wanted to come back as a judge, was to just to help others, to guide them, to give any of my expertise or experience, share that with them. But life throws all kinds of things at you. But the most important part is to keep going, which is what I did. And I transitioned, skin is a passion of mine. But after becoming sick, I continued my business, but I went down this really dark hole because I couldn't get help. All I could get from doctors was just trying to put me on medications, and that's not what I wanted. So I had to figure it out myself. And that is what led me back to school, where I am in July, I graduated and took my boards, and I'm now a board certified naturopathic doctor. And I also have my practice, and I still see skincare clients doing holistic skincare because your skin is the largest organ and it is greatly affected by your lifestyle, what's happening in your body, how you live, what you put in it, but also most importantly, what kind of viral load you have, because we're all carrying different viral loads. And so it all reflects on our skin. So I love to share all the knowledge that I've gained both from education, but also from experience.
Beautiful.
That's what I hope to share.
Love it. Love it. Myung, you are new to our judging panel. She hopped on because we did have one of our judges had to excuse herself from the competition this year, and Myung has agreed to join us. Welcome to the Skin Games. Tell us your name, your business name, location, why you chose to become a beauty professional, and what your focus is.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for inviting me here. And you guys are doing a wonderful job. My name is Myung Chung. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, and I have immigrated from South Korea when I was 14 years old. And my brand is Hena Isul. I have 5 children. My number 4 child name is Hena Isul. Hena means gift of God, and Isul is morning dew, and it's a Korean name. And the reason that I became an esthetician is I grew up in the country in South Korea, and I had really nice skin, such a good environment with good diet, healthy food. And when I came to United States, I ate all those fast food and the hormones changing. And so I had so much acne. And I wanted to help my acne, so I have tried every product on the market, but it was not helping me at all. So in Houston, Texas, they had a first aesthetic course in 1980. And so I enrolled in that school, and I started learning, and I had this German lady who helped me about the manipulation, and then also I learned training from Korean people. So overall with that, I just wanted to help myself. Then after that, of course, you want to reach out people with the scars, acne. Then after that, so many people are getting lasers and facelifts. So I wanted to help them so they don't have to have makeup on, but still look beautiful. And also they don't have to have facelift, but still have beautiful skin. So that was my passion. So actually I'm an inventor. So I have first created the cosmetic foaming formulation, which is 60-second facelift. And then I also have created skin healing and rejuvenation formula, because your skin has to heal and rejuvenate to stay healthy. So that's what my company is. And I have been training basically medical spa practitioners in the United States, Japan, Korea, and Singapore. So that's my background. And we've done the first human skin tissue equivalent testing on the products, because I didn't want to test it on the animal. So, but we still wanted to make sure that these products are good for 1,000 years, not for 3 years or 5 years, where they keep changing it. So we were the first company that produced the paraben-free in the United States. And of course, my skincare right now I'm doing on the stem cell technology, which is 2 more US patent pending. So my job is to, like, all of you, that I really inspire what you are doing. And you are going through a very harsh time and difficult time as a woman, but you are building your own empire. So just like that, I have my passion. So I've just been helping people.
I love it. I am going to skip to Skyly because she has got to hop off of here in about 5 minutes, I think. So I'm going to run through interview questions for her, and then we're going to cycle through you, Lynn, Samantha, and Myung. Okay. So Skyly, all of these are for you. How does your background inform your approach for the holistic category?
So even before I became an esthetician, I always was very natural. I never liked taking medications. I always tried to find the more natural route for things. I was a nutritionist before I became an esthetician. And then once I became an esthetician, I just always loved the more natural approach to things. I never jived with any of the medical type services or the injectables. And, I just find that things that have been around longer make me feel safer. There's so many new things are always coming out. I just feel like there's not enough research or time with something to know if it's going to be safe or not. So I trust things that have been around for thousands of years more than I trust the new things. So I think, that has always kind of been at the root of who I am. And I'm kind of nerdy at home in terms of, I collect rainwater, I compost, I have my own chickens. I just prefer living off the land if possible, and trying to, do things the most holistic route, I can. And then, having so many family members that I've lost to cancer over the years, I just feel like the less things you're putting in your body and using on your body, the less risk there is. So I think all of those things have kind of lended to just the type of personality and the beliefs that I have in terms of skincare too.
Love that. What industry trends are you paying attention to? One thing, if you can touch on this, ingredients, modalities, those things are really great, but what shifts in client needs and their expectations are you seeing?
I'm kind of the anti-trend girl. So I try not to get involved in what's like hot and new other than research. I love, when new research comes out about things that have been around for a while and either lends to them or kind of dispels them. So I really try to avoid the new things, but I do notice, especially nowadays, that clients, their barriers are wrecked because they are spending so much time listening to these TikTok influencers who tell them they need these 10-step Korean routines that are one size fits all, or they need this thing or that thing, or, whatever it is, buy it, use it. Everyone should be on tretinoin and everyone should be, scrubbing their faces off and lasering their faces off. And, obviously everything in moderation. But unfortunately, with these influencers, they have just convinced people that they need all these things and at home microneedling, which drives me up a wall. I will forever be screaming at the top of my lungs for people to stop microneedling their faces at home. So I think that's definitely one of the trends I keep up on is I've always loved microneedling, but staying away from it to do at home. And just waiting things out a little bit more than just hopping on the bandwagon of what's hot and new.
What's a beauty myth you want to correct?
That you need a 10-step routine, probably. I mean, really, honestly, that you need to spend a lot of money on skincare, which I know is like a really controversial thing as an esthetician. Like, we all sell retail, I do too. But I don't think people need to be spending $200-300 on their routines to have good skin.
What is your favorite success advice for professionals? Something that you believe every esthetician should hear.
It's not about you. I think that we get so caught up in like telling our story and telling where we come from and what we believe in and all these things. It's not about us at the end of the day. I think it needs to always be about the client. And I think that can get forgotten a lot, especially with social media. We're taught talk about yourself and put yourself out there and make people see who you are. And to an extent, that's great. But I think it can be easy to forget that at the end of the day, it's never about us.
It's true. That is true. That's great advice. Okay. I will let you get on because I know you have to prep for a client. If you will drop your social in the chat, so everybody, if they want to follow you, they can. And can, like I said before, you can also find her on our judges page. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your thoughts, perspectives. Anything else you want to say? Any parting words?
I just love you guys. I love the skin games. I love everyone that competes because I feel like everybody is at, I don't want to call it a different level, but they want more out of themselves. And I think that this industry needs more of that.
Yes, that is one thing that the skin game attracts is people who want to become the best, their absolute personal best. And I think it's a great place to do that because you get feedback, you get support, you get to build your network, you get to learn new things, you get to hear things from a whole lot of different perspectives. But yes, thank you. And we will look forward to seeing you live in March, but we will connect again, obviously before then, because you have case studies you got to score. So
bye everybody.
And thank you. Thank you,
Kelly.
Bye,
You're
Skylie.
awesome. Bye guys.
All right. So Lynn, so what we'll do now is we'll just kind of go back to the old format where we'll cycle through one question at a time permitting. I want to honor everyone's time. How does your background inform your approach with holistic? You touched a little bit on that about chemical overload and wanting to make sure that you kept repeat what you said.
Yeah, no, I was just like looking to not disrupt the skin, like to help support, help people figure out like, why am I breaking out? Why is my barrier erect? Why does everybody look like they have rosacea these days? You know? So my gateway into holistic aesthetics was Reiki 22 plus years ago. Became an esthetician. I actually had a lot of compromised clients come in pretty quickly. I actually got certified in oncology within like 2 years of me becoming an esthetician. And then I got turned on to reflexology. And oh boy, is that delicious. I love, love, love reflexology. I love combining treatments. So, I do a Reiki facial. I have a lot of clients that'll come in and see me for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we'll do a facial, we'll do some Reiki, and we'll do some reflexology. So it really hits I really believe holistic is body, mind, spirit, and skin.
I agree.
And yeah, I love that everybody's individual, and I love giving personalized attention. And as Skylie said, it's really all about them. What are their needs? In being really a detective, like no matter what type of aesthetics we practice, right? Because our clients don't think to tell us everything. So we sometimes have to figure out that missing piece. So
I agree with you. And one of the lessons, we're always learning them because I'm still a practicing esthetician, is to always, it's a continual consultation process. every time your client comes in, you have to ask the same questions over and over and over again. I had a client for 20 years working on her, and we just got to chit-chatting and catching up, and she forgot to tell me that she was using tretinoin. She doesn't anymore, but she didn't stop using it. And I used a retinol exfoliant on her, and it didn't end well for either one of us. And I didn't ask, did you stop your tretinoin? Had I asked, we would have shifted gears and done something completely different. So it's a constant. It is not about me. It's not about what was going on in her life. It's about her skin, and consulting, doing that consultation every time they come in. She's still with me. She didn't leave me. So it was a good thing I saved it, but it is still always learning, always, always, always. And detective, always being a detective. Samantha, you talked a little bit about viral overload with illness for yourself. That I think that's probably going to be part of your background and how it informs your approach, to the extent that you became a naturopath, right? So what else in your background informs your approach in treating skin holistically?
In the treatment room, because I've been an esthetician since 2010, and I've always done well with being able to, for the most part, figure out what's going on. But there was always just seemed to be this barrier with certain clients, and it was the compromised categories. And that's where I always would hit a brick wall. No matter what you did, no matter what chemical pills you use, no matter what products you put them on, you just couldn't clear them up all the way, or give them the results that they're looking for. But stepping into the natural health world and realizing the correlation between what's going on in somebody's body, the toxins, the viral load, whenever you focus on that, you have to focus on the whole body, because the skin is just an outer reflection of what's happening inside. So when you look at the person as a whole and you deal with what's happening inside, then you are able to achieve what you could not achieve before with their skin, because you've cleaned up the inner terrain. And then when you clean up inside, it starts reflecting outside. So I found that that has been a game changer for me in being able to help those very difficult clients that would often end up seeking out dermatologists, going on the medications, being able to help them holistically at the next level. So that's been kind of the biggest thing between the correlating aesthetics with my naturopathic background as well.
Nice. I like that. And I think that you'll bring a lot of great insight to our players this year. And I'm really excited to have you on board.
Thank you.
Myung, you also have the experience now of being a product formulator, working with ingredients and the new technologies that we have for making our ingredients a lot more effective, getting through that natural barrier function, the protective acid mantle, into where the skin can actually utilize the ingredients. So how does your background inform your approach when treating a holistic skin?
So to me, I have done a lot of research with Dr. Robert Gracie, and he does human skin tissue equivalent. And actually, they are just right back of our backyard, which is very nice. And so I have developed this SOVAS 5 treatment systems, which is basically a lot of vitamins, multivitamins therapy. And so with the human skin equivalent science, you could help your skin to start healing. So I'm really focusing on first step will be your skin resurfacing, because so many people are using Retin-A and different products. Actually, it's really, really causing a lot of long-term damage because when they go out in the sun, then they get all that exposure. Then they get more tiny, tiny wrinkles later, like 20 years later or 10 years later, which is ridiculous. So as an esthetician, what I'm trying to do is help estheticians or physicians to educate their patients how important it is to properly cleanse their skin, which is the most important. And then I create this skin resurfacing system that they don't have to do heavy laser, or they don't have to do aggressive treatment, but yet you just get rid of all epidermal skin layers that are dead cells, and but without causing erythema or too much too much what's the word?
Irritation.
Yeah, too much irritation, because they have this beautiful peel, and I have developed the system. So even they have rosacea, eczema, or acne, even all that COVID, after COVID, a lot of people have all that red, erythema, and a lot of problem skin. But when you use this skin resurfacing, they just go back with the actually more healed skin, because we are using recovery ointment, which helps to heal the skin on contact. So that's what I'm focusing on and helping people. And now, because of after the COVID, we need something more stronger than just the vitamin therapy. So I'm infusing more with the stem cell technology, which, I've been doing research since 2002. So we just barely made the success in 2023. So it took me a very long time to come up with because sometimes when you do the research, it's not going to always happen. So I'm doing that. And then someone say that, we don't need a 10 step, which is so true. As an esthetician, when I first came, I went to get a training from some company. They had like 100 some products, each for eye makeup remover, for the milky cleanser, oil cleanser, and then cleanser, and just rose water. It's just, too many. But like I introduced just one product that will take care of everything of cleansing. So I'm just focusing on more simple, but yet very effective and safe, and then the highest ingredients and the highest quality. That's what I'm focusing on, and that seems to be working.
It does. And I think what we're doing with technology and how we manufacture ingredients, we're just scratching the surface with what stem cell can do for the skin and the body in its inside, internally. Yes. Lynn, what industry trends are you paying attention to? And I asked this question last week, and I think everybody kind of wants to answer it their own way, and that's great. But specifically client needs and expectations, because we hear a lot about everything tonight has been kind of post-COVID. We've seen a lot of compromised skin. Everybody is coming back to a holistic, more grounded approach, a simple approach, a cleaner approach. So how are your client needs shifting, and how are you managing their expectations?
So from a client perspective, I have clients asking me about lymphatic drainage, which I've been doing lymphatic drainage for quite a long time. And a lot of what I do too is I like to empower my clients, like teach them things that they can do at home when they're double cleansing their skin, and that can help relax them and also address the lymphatic drainage. They're asking about gua sha. They're asking about now facial cupping is been asked quite a bit, even though it's been around for a while. And, like Skyly, like I pay attention to trends, but I really pay more attention to the needs of my clients. And what they're out there on social. I want them coming to me to get better information, because I'll say, all right, I'll send you some resources. If it's not quite my niche, I have my favorite professional people that teach certain things that I might not. And so I'll direct them to that. Hey, this is, facial yoga. Yes, I can teach you how to do facial yoga. That's another one. Facial yoga is big. But I have a couple ladies that I follow personally, and they're on Instagram and they have really short, good videos. So again, I like to empower them back with education, whether I'm giving it or I'm giving it, but I'm also giving them a resource to do at home to maybe show them.
So you become their source of truth.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good. So Samantha, so you do both now. You have a naturopathic practice, and then you do see a few skincare clients. So what shifts in their needs and their expectations have you seen? And remind me again, where are you located?
I'm in North Richland Hills, Texas.
Okay, so
About 40 minutes from Dallas.
40. Okay. So you're going to be local. She's a local judge, and so is Myung. She's in yes, local. You two should connect.
Yes, I'm excited.
What shifts in client needs and expectations have you noticed?
I haven't really seen a big shift. I don't see a lot of young people. And I feel like that's where a lot of the trends come in. I do have some of my clients come in and they'll ask me about a trend that they might have seen on TikTok or whatnot. One of the biggest ones would be microneedling. They ask, because I have an IndyMed machine. I do the radio frequency in microneedling. And of course, if they can do it at home for cheaper, why not? So that's one that I will get a question on about that. And that makes me crazy because, you see some of those influencers and they just go crazy and their faces looks like a burn victim and they're like, yeah, isn't my face glowing? It's like stop. Because I very much believe in the less is more approach. But also the light therapy. That's huge. And I absolutely love light therapy. I have 2 Soluma Pro panels for the office and home. So that's a big one that I have a lot of questions about because they see those little face panels that you can use at home and whatnot. But another one that I love too is the PEMF mat. That is one of my favorite modalities. But once again, you have all these ones that you see marketed all over the place. So I just try to reiterate that they're not all created equally. That goes with skincare supplements, that goes with vitamins, that goes with, everything across the board. It's not created equally. So just making sure that what you're getting is what you think you're getting. If you think you're getting a good quality LED system, you need to make sure. So that's what I try to help people with is, if you're going to do something at home, don't try to cut cost. You want to get the right thing.
Perfect. And I think that underlying theme is educating your clients. Myung, what are you noticing with any industry trends, ingredients, and client needs and their expectations? Since ingredients is kind of where your specialty is. Yeah, let me unmute you.
Okay, so as I have mentioned earlier that I'm focusing on stem cell technology, what I've noticed with the clients is that they have droopy eyelids or they're concerned about the nasal nevia fold or their neck is getting, loose. So I'm helping them with our treatment and with our products to keep their eyelids tighter and also the neck, they have those ring or the loose skin. Then when people lose weight, their neck really shows. So we are focusing on that and helping them. And with those treatment, of course, the skin resurfacing is important and collagen boosting is very important. And Also, we do the radio frequency for the lymphatic drainage so they can have all the toxins away from them. And then when they come in, I teach them technique that I have learned 45 years ago when I was in modeling school. They taught me about how you do facial expression, facial exercise that you don't have to age and have double chin. So I teach them some of those. And so people are now more appreciate natural beauty and no makeup beauty. So natural beauty is very big now. So, and people really don't mind if they have few wrinkles because they say, oh, I earned this, So it's about true beauty. It's like a fine wine. As you age, you look more wiser, and you still have that healthy, glowing skin and that self-esteem and the confidence that they carry. So that's what we encourage to have them. It's the self-esteem, and everyone is beautiful as they are. So that's what we
100% agree.
focusing on. Yeah.
I love that. All right. So this is our last question. It's a compound question. Lynn, beauty myth and favorite success advice.
Beauty myth. More expensive products don't mean they're a better product. And what was the second one?
Success advice.
Okay. Always be grounded in your ability. Always be ready to pivot and find a mentor or mentors.
I love that. Drop your socials in the chat too, please, when you finish it, if you can, so that our audience can find you. Samantha, beauty myth that you want to correct and your favorite piece of success advice.
Beauty myth that I want to correct kind of goes back to what I was talking about, how you see a lot of these influencers being so aggressive. More is not better. Less is better. So take it back. And I'm sorry, what was the second question?
Favorite piece of success advice for our professionals?
My best advice is believe in yourself. You have a craft, you have a gift, and if you're here, that means that you are looking to grow. And so believe in yourself and just bring forth your knowledge and your passion.
I love that. I love that. Myung, myth that you want to correct and you've been in the industry how many years?
44 years.
44 years. So yeah. Your beauty myth you want to correct and success advice for our professionals.
You know how people say that more pain, beauty takes pain?
Right.
That's not true at all.
I agree.
Your skin is very delicate and you have to take care of very delicately. So, and it's like a microwave, how they cook quickly.
They are starting to talk about something that I need to hear.
Okay. Is it okay if I head out?
Yes.
I can look at my calendar and figure it out.
Yes, and that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So beauty can be rushed or forced or manufactured through, extremes. The beauty is not created by excess procedures, aggressive intervention, or constantly, constant novelty, but it's the result of balance, biology, and discipline care over time. So I would say self-care, not just your skin, but what you eat, what you are. And you have to drink lots of water, water is, your life fluid. So you drink lots of water, good water. I'm talking about good water. And your spirit is really important, so like me, I'm a Christian, so I'm connect with God and I listen to God, and that helps me a lot. But the more pain you get, the beauty's pain. No. People using all that scrubs and that brush, just damaging their skin. I absolutely say that is incorrect.
Love that. Love that. And success advice?
So success advice is that everyone has a very unique, special gift. And so you need to bring out your gift and know what you are best at. So you don't have to be, doing somebody else's doing and doing same thing. So education is key to success. So there are so much available, but you have to know which is your best at. Like if you are gonna focusing on anti-aging, if you're gonna focusing on skin disorders or compromised skin, you have to stay focused and know what is best for their clients. Like for instance, like certain mushroom can help their cancer. So like us, we serve some mushroom tea and flower teas, things like that. It has to be together. It cannot be just skincare. They have to have that in combination, and we just have to give and give and give and help them heal and heal. And
Well,
that will bring the success.
I'm going to say this. I have one badass team of holistic judges this year. So I appreciate all of you. Our compromised judges, I think we knocked it out of the park this year with our judges, and I think I matched you all well to your categories, and I really very much appreciate your time. I know we ran over, and I'm sorry that we did. I honor time. I appreciate those of you who've stuck with us, and this will be uploaded to YouTube for everyone who wants to catch the entire replay. And next week, we have our new esthetician judges and our open category judges. Our open category is scalp and body and hands and legs and all of those stretch marks and all that kind of fun things that we don't get to do a whole lot of because we're all focused from our décolleté to the top of our head. But we do have some estheticians that's their focus and that's what they do. And they're going to show us what they can do. And our judges for those categories will be showing up next week, same time, same place. And I want to thank you all for your time. If any of you listening have any questions, I will give you 2 minutes to type them in the chat. But otherwise, I'm going to let everybody get on with their evening. So if anybody has any questions, we have lots of thank yous. And
thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, yes. No, thank you. Thank you. And let's all keep Jessica Johnson in our thoughts and our prayers, please, while she is working through her breast cancer treatment. I hope you don't mind that, Jessica. The more energy you have going towards you, the better off you are. So let's see. We got 2 comments. Let me grab those before I let you guys. Thank you. Excited for the skin games. And I'm trying to do my voiceover. Any advice? Voiceover for video, Tammy? If that is so, then hit me up, Kelly, at the Skin Games via email, and we'll schedule a time to talk. And Jessica says, thank you so much. So, all right. You all have a beautiful evening, and we will see you next week.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you all for joining.